Hi everyone, I am Dr. Shigar Kanti. In this video we go for some theorems in group theory. We have defined the order of an element, that is if G is a group and A is any element of G, then order of the element A is defined as the least positive integer such that A to the power of n is equal to E. So here we have if order of A equal to n, then I can write E to the power of n equal to E. But conversely, suppose if we have A power of m equal to E, then I cannot say that order of A is equal to m. I can say that order of A is less than or equal to n. Okay, this is an example. In the above example we have 1 to the power 14 can be written like this: 14 times plus 7 plus 7 plus 7. This is equal to 0. But here order of 1 is equal to 7. Okay, it is not equal to 14 here because we are getting 1 to the power of 7 equal to 0. The 0 is the identity element. Okay, so therefore here order of 1 is equal to 7 and it is not equal to 14. Any multiples of 7 if we take to the power, we are getting the identity, but all these are not the orders here. Whichever is the least, that is the order. So that is, in this case, 7 is the order of the element. So that is here. If order of A equal to n, then we can write A raised to n equal to E. But conversely, suppose we have A power of m equal to E, then I cannot write order of A equal to m. I can write the order of A is less than or equal to m. Okay. This is the theorem. The order of each element of a finite group is finite. Okay, the order of each element of a finite group is finite. Group is finite. Okay, so that means here suppose G is a group of order, a finite order n, and if A is any element of G, then we have to show that order of A is also finite. So let me consider, to prove this one, let me consider let G be a finite group and its order is equal to say n. Okay, this is finite one. Now let A be any element of the group G. Consider this set here, k equal to, first element is A, second element is A square means A into A, and third element is A cube, A square into A. And here, so as A belongs to G, therefore we have A square also belongs to G, A cube also belongs to D, any power of A also belongs to G. So that means here every element of this set K is an element of G. This shows that K is a subset of G. Okay, and G is the set consisting of the finite number of elements, right? Now here A is an element of G, therefore any power of, okay, this belongs to G. Here I have to show that the order of A is finite. Suppose, if possible, if A is of infinite order, then what happens here is this K will become infinite set here. And G is a finite set, K is an infinite set, and here we have K is a subset of G, which is a contradiction here. This cannot be infinite. So that is here, suppose if I consider that A is of infinite order, then we get K is also infinite set here, which is a contradiction to the fact that K is a subset of G. So therefore here this A must be of finite order. So why we are getting contradiction here? Because if we can consider A is of infinite order, this is wrong here. Therefore A must be finite order, right? Next theorem. The order of any element of group G is equal to the order of its inverse. That is, order of A equal to order of A inverse. So here, if A is an element of a group G, then so this theorem I can write like this: if A is an element of a group G, then we have to prove that order of A is equal to order of A inverse, right? So here, let me consider order of A is equal to M and order of A inverse is equal to N. Okay. Here, order of A equal to M means A to the power of M equal to E. Now consider A to the power of minus 1 to the power of M. Okay. I have taken order of A equal to M, order of A inverse is equal to N. So here order of A equal to M means A to the power of M equal to E. Now consider this thing, that is A to the power of minus 1 to the power of M. Then I can write this as A raised to M to the power of minus 1. What is A raised to M? A raised to M is equal to E. So I am getting E to the power of minus 1. So E to the power of minus 1, as E is the identity element here, inverse of E is itself here. This is equal to E. What I am getting here is raising the power M to this element, that is A to the power of minus 1. I am getting this is equal to E. Okay. A inverse to the power of M equal to E means the order of A inverse must be less than or equal to M. So that is here order of A inverse is less than or equal to M. What is the order of A inverse? It is, I have taken it as N. Okay. N is less than or equal to M. So I will take this as a 1. Okay. Then again order of A inverse is equal to N we have taken. This implies A to the power of minus 1 to the power of N must be equal to E. Okay. Order of A inverse equal to N means this to the power of N is equal to identity. That is A inverse to the power of N is equal to identity. And here consider A power of N. This is equal to this A power of N can be written as A power of minus 1 to the power of minus N. Right? And this can be written as A to the power of minus 1 to the power of N whole to the power of minus 1. And A inverse to the power of N I have. A inverse to the power of N is equal to E. So that is this quantity is equal to E to the power of minus 1. That is E raised to minus 1. E raised to minus 1 is nothing but E. I am getting A power of N equal to E means order of A must be less than or equal to, order of A must be less than or equal to this is equal to E. I am getting A power of N is equal to E. So therefore here order of A must be less than or equal to N. Order of A must be less than or equal to N. So that is, what is the order of A? It is equal to M I have taken. M is less than or equal to N. So I will take this as say 2. What is our 1? 1 is, I think N is less than or equal to, this is our 1. N less than or equal to M and this is my 2. M less than or equal to N. From 1 and 2 we can write M is equal to N. M is nothing but order of A. N is nothing but order of A inverse. So therefore we can say that order of any element is equal to order of its inverse. Next one more theorem, theorem 3. Let A be an element of group G of order N. So that is A be an element of a group of order N. That is the order of A is equal to N. Then for an integer M, A raised to M is equal to E if and only if N divides M. So here it is given that order of A is equal to N. Let A be an element of a group of order N. So this N is the order of A. Okay. A is an element of order N in a group G. Then for any integer M, A power of M equal to E, then that implies N divides M. And conversely, if N divides M, then I can write A to the power of M equal to E. This we have to prove. One way is A raised to M equal to E implies that N divides M. Otherwise, that is the corner part is N divides M implies that A power of M equal to E. Given that order of A is equal to N. Okay. So here, given order of A equal to N, this implies A power of N equal to E. Now, I will consider this first here. Let a power of m equal to e. Then I will try to show that n divides m. Let a power of m is equal to e. Then, by division algorithm, I can write m equal to nq plus r. The meaning of this is, if I divide m by n, then I will get the quotient equal to q and the remainder equal to r. So here, n is the divisor. N is the divisor and r is the remainder, q is the quotient. Therefore, always the remainder either equal to 0 or it must be less than n. That is, r lies between 0 and n minus 1. So that is 0 may be equal to 0 here. 0 less than or equal to r, but this is less than n. R can go up to n minus 1. Okay, r lies between 0 and n. Now, a to the power of nq plus a raised to m equal to e means a to the power of nq plus r. This is our m here. Okay, a power of m means nq plus r equal to e. And this can be written as a to the power of nq into a to the power of r. A to the power of nq into a to the power of r. This is equal to e. Now, let this a to the power of nq as a to the power of n whole to the power of q into a power of r. What is this a to the power of n? We have a to the power of n equal to e. Okay, so that is, this is equal to e. This is equal to e to the power of q into this a raised to r as it is. This is equal to e, and this implies e to the power of q means this is e itself. Okay, that is e into a raised to r is equal to e. And e is the identity, therefore e into a raised to r is nothing but a raised to r itself. That is a raised to r equal to e. A to the power of r equal to e. Now here, by raising the power r, I am getting this is equal to e. Then what is the value of r? R lies between this and this. Here, r must take the value equal to 0. Because given that order of a is equal to n means n is the least positive integer such that a to the power of n equal to e. If we take any number, any integer less than n, then I cannot get this value is equal to e. Only possibility is only when r equal to 0. So that is a raised to r equal to e, since n is the least positive integer such that a raised to n equal to e. So they find here we have this relation here. From this we can write r is equal to 0. R must take the value equal to 0. If r equal to 0, then I am getting m equal to nq here, because r equal to 0 here. M is equal to nq. If we get m is equal to nq, then we can say that n divides m. So that is n divides m. This is one way. And converse part is, again, given that the order of a equal to n. Now here, conversely, suppose let n divides m. Okay, n divides m. I have to show that a to the power of m is equal to e. Now, if n divides m means m can be written as n into some integer. I am writing m is equal to n into q. Okay, for some integer q. Now consider, I have to show that a raised to m equal to e. Therefore, I will consider a to the power of m. A to the power of m can be written as a to the power of m. I have taken this as nq. So nq. This can be written as a to the power of n whole to the power of q. But order of a equal to n, therefore a raised to n equal to e. I am getting this is e to the power of q. And as e is the identity element, therefore e to the power of q must be equal to e. So this is what we have proved here. If I take n divides m, then we have proved that a to the power of m is equal to e. Okay. Next theorem. Let a and b are any two elements of a group G. Then order of a is equal to order of b inverse into ab. Again, let me consider order of a equal to m and order of the second element b inverse ab is equal to n. Okay. Then order of a equal to m means a to the power of m equal to e, and order of b inverse ab equal to n means b inverse ab to the power of n is equal to e. Now consider B inverse AB to the power of m. I am raising power m to this element here. This can be written as B inverse AB into B inverse AB into B inverse AB. How many times? Up to m times I have to write. Okay, I am writing this up to m times. Now I will use the associative law. What I am doing here is I am combining this B and B inverse one side. B inverse is there. Here also we have B inverse. Okay. So I will write this B inverse as it is. A as it is. BB inverse into A. BB inverse into A. BB inverse into A. BB inverse into A. Okay. Into this is the last A. Last term is B inverse AB. I will keep that A here. Okay. A here. And outside I will write this is equal to B. So that is here B inverse A, BB inverse A, BB inverse A, BB inverse A, BB inverse A. How many times this is? This is up to m times here. Now BB inverse equal to identity element. So therefore AE is equal to this becomes A itself. Here again BB inverse equal to E, BB inverse equal to E. Then this becomes A into A into A into A into how many times? This is up to m times here. So that means here this bracket is nothing but A to the power of m, and this last element B, I am keeping this as it is. So this is equal to B inverse. What is A raised to m? I have taken order of A equal to m, therefore A raised to m equal to E. So that is here B inverse A raised to m into B. This is equal to B inverse A raised to m is E into B. Again, EB is nothing but B, so that is B inverse into B. B inverse into B is equal to E. So that is here, this is the value of B inverse AB to the power of m. I am getting B inverse AB to the power of m equal to identity, means order of B inverse AB divides this m. What is order of B inverse AB? It is nothing but n here. Okay, so that is here. N divides, order of B inverse AB divides m, that is n less than or equal to, okay, order of B inverse AB is not divides here, I am considering less than or equal to m, that is here n is less than or equal to m. Okay, and then again order of B inverse AB is equal to n, we have considered. This implies B inverse AB to the power of n is equal to E. Again expanding this one, I can write this as it is like this we have done. Writing this B inverse AB, B inverse AB, B inverse AB n times and combining B inverse B, B inverse B, B inverse B. Finally we get here B inverse A power of n into B. This is equal to identity element. Okay. So that is here. Here we have got this equation B inverse A raised to n into B is equal to identity is there. Operating by B on both the sides here, on the left here. So this quantity becomes BB inverse is equal to E. And operating by B inverse on the right here, on both the sides. This is B. If I operate by B inverse here, this becomes BB inverse, that is also equal to E. So this element equal to E, this element equal to E. Then what remains here is this element remains A power of n. And on the right hand side I have operated by left by B, right by B inverse. So this is as it is here. Again B into E equal to B itself. Then we are getting BB inverse here. BB inverse is equal to E. So that is what I am getting here is A power of n equal to E. Then order of A is less than or equal to n. Order of A is less than or equal to n. What is order of A? It is equal to m. Okay. M is less than or equal to n. I will take this as a 2. In 1 we have n less than or equal to m. In 2 we have m less than or equal to n. Therefore from 1 and 2 we can write m is equal to n. Okay. From 1 and 2 we can write m equal to n. What is m here? M is order of A. M is order of A. And what is n? N is order of B inverse AB. So we have proved that order of A is equal to order of B inverse AB. Now one corollary is there. Prove that order of AB equal to order of BA. Okay. Suppose this is an abelian group, then definitely AB equal to BA, therefore orders are same. If G is not an abelian group, then AB need not be equal to BA. But what this corollary states is their orders are same. The elements may be different, but their orders are same. Okay. For any two elements AB in the group G. Now we have, by previous theorem we have order of A equal to order of B inverse AB. Okay. This is the known result. In this result, I will replace A by BA. I will replace A by BA. What happens to the left hand side? Order of, in place of A, I am putting BA. And on the right hand side, order of B inverse. In place of A, I am putting BA. BA, this is B. Okay. Now, B inverse into B, this is nothing but identity element E. E into AB means this is equal to AB. So, left hand side is order of BA. Right hand side is order of AB. So we have proved that order of AB is equal to order of BA. Next theorem. Show that the order of an integral power of an element A of a group G cannot exceed the order of A. First we have to understand the question. Okay. What is given here is, given that G is a group, okay, and then let me take A is an element of G and A has its order, okay, order of A is equal to something. Now, suppose A to the power of K is any integral power of A, then theorem states that order of A raised to K must be less than or equal to order of A. Okay, so that is order of integral power of an element A cannot exceed the order of A. Okay, so here let me take order of A is equal to N. Then what this implies? A power of N equal to E. And let A raised to K be any integral power of A. What is my aim? I have to show that order of A raised to K is less than or equal to order of A. This we have to prove. For that, I will consider A power K to the power of N. And this can be written as A power of N to the power of K. What is A raised to N? It is equal to E. Okay, E to the power of K. E to the power of K means this is equal to E itself because E is the identity element. I am getting A raised to K to the power of N, raising the power N to this element. I am getting this identity means order of this element must be less than or equal to this quantity, that is N. So that is, this implies order of A raised to K must be less than or equal to N. Okay. So that is order of A raised to K less than or equal to N means it is nothing but order of A. So therefore here order of any integral power of A is always less than or equal to order of A. Next, one more theorem. Show that order of A raised to P divides order of A. So in the previous theorem what we proved is there is order of any integral power is less than or equal to order of A. Here order of A raised to P divides order of A. Okay, let me consider order of A is equal to M and order of A raised to P is equal to N. Consider this A power of M is equal to A to the power of P to the power of M is equal to I can write this is A raised to M to the power of P. But A raised to M equal to E because we have taken order of A is equal to M means A raised to M equal to E to the power of P. E to the power of P means it is equal to identity element. Okay. Now here we have in the note we have given one note. Suppose order of A is equal to N and M is an integer such that A raised to M equal to E, then order of A divides M, that is N divides M. So here also we have, so A raised to p to the power of m equal to I am getting e, means order of this divides order of this. Okay, divides m. Order of a raised to p divides m. Order of a, that is n divides m. That is n means it is nothing but order of a to the power of p. N is equal to order of a raised to p, and m is nothing but order of a. So that is order of any integral power of a always divides order of a. So here we have two theorems here. The previous theorem was order of a raised to p is less than or equal to order of a. That is one theorem. Another theorem is order of a raised to p divides order of a. Okay. This theorem, one more theorem is there, so I think I will stop here. I will go to this theorem in the next video. Thank you.